Hey folks, welcome to this edition of the Microsoft Cloud News Update. Reading the cloud blogs so you don't have to. Lots of information to share with you this week, so let's jump right into it. Our first update is regarding Microsoft Azure Modular Data Center. So look at this as a very limited availability offering. Basically, it's the ability to construct and deploy a modular data center, of course, based on Azure at remote locations. So this could be helpful where cloud connectivity may or may not be fully available to you, and you wanted to leverage the power of the Azure cloud, but more from a local perspective. This is a little bit different than Azure Stack, which are particular instances of Azure capabilities deployed within an institution or your organization. This is really a complete data center. So again, this is in limited availability preview. If you're interested in looking at this and further, check out the blog post and contact your Microsoft rep for more information. Our second update is regarding Microsoft Forms and the availability of the Forms function and program application now being generally available for personal use. So a lot of institutions have used Forms for quite some time. It was connected to an Office 365 tenant, and now Microsoft Forms is available for personal use. So check out this blog post for more information. Our third update is regarding Microsoft Teams and some new integrations between Teams and Salesforce. So this blog post shows some of the capabilities that are currently coming down regarding integration between Teams and Salesforce, and the ability within a chat window or an application within Teams to share contact information that might exist within the Salesforce CRM. So check this out for more information. Our fourth update is regarding Power Automate Desktop. And this is something that I really wasn't aware that was available. It's currently in preview, but if you're not familiar with Power Automate Desktop or PAD, P-A-D, this is a new application that allows you to create Power Automate flows, formerly known as Microsoft Flow, within the Power Automate Desktop application. So it gives you more capability, more ease of use than using a web browser and a web app to create your flows for business process automation. So check out this blog post for an update to the Power Automate Desktop application, and also for the preview information and how to start using Power Automate Desktop today to create and manage flows. Our next update is regarding Microsoft Teams and the integration between Teams and Azure Lab Services. So if you're not familiar with Azure Lab Services, that's basically a compute environment for lab work. So think of a typical lab scenario where you have multiple machines, virtual machines, etc., accessible to students to do projects, assignments, run specific applications that an institution might have access to in a secure and easy way. So Azure Lab Services has been around for quite some time. With the integration between this and Teams, think of the application where a student or really more of a professor or lab instructor, lab manager, creating a Microsoft Teams for students for a particular class, and then having these students access the Azure Lab Services without having to create or provision virtual machines, lab machines, etc. So the really neat thing here is the roster that you create or the membership you create within Microsoft Teams translates into the Azure Lab Services, so the users or the members of that particular team have access to Azure Lab Services VMs without any other assignment, rostering, etc. So it's completely automated, single sign-on capabilities are there, etc. So if you are interested in this capability, check out this blog post for more info. Our second last update is regarding Microsoft PowerPoint for the Mac platform and some new capabilities that are coming shortly on the Mac, particularly around presenter video recording. So this feature is coming to PowerPoint for Mac by the end of the year. And this will provide the content creator, teacher, also student for that matter, to create interactive presentations by recording the presenter's audio and video on top of the presentation and then wrapping that up into a complete package, audio, video, presentation, etc. So this kind of opens the doors to maybe some additional remote learning capabilities where teachers, instructors can pre-record lessons without any additional software, just within the PowerPoint platform, package them up, and have those MP4s and videos available for consuming by students, classes, etc. So pretty neat feature coming soon to the Mac platform. And finally, last but not least, is some new information that the product group has published regarding information protection. So this is all based on Azure Information Protection, which is a capability within Office 365 and Microsoft 365. So the blog post is fairly lengthy on all the new capabilities and the roadmap outlay for information protection and some integrations that are coming out for SharePoint Online, OneDrive, labeling, sensitivity, components, etc. What I found really interesting in this blog post was the announcement of a public preview for Microsoft Endpoint Data Loss Prevention, or DLP. And this is pretty cool. So the Endpoint DLP is now going to be native to Windows 10 and the new Microsoft Edge browser. And if you haven't checked out the new Edge browser, check it out. It's based on Chromium. It's really quick and really lightweight, something to at least try out if you're into the Chromium world. So Edge is based on Chromium. The new preview here for DLP, these capabilities we're going to build into those platforms. So this is going to eliminate the need for additional agents, councils, etc. So you'll have all this information and DLP management within the Endpoint Management Console. So check out the blog post for more information. That concludes this edition of the Microsoft Cloud News Update. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any feedback, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. Appreciate any feedback on how we can make this netcast better. And look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care.